When somebody says video games, what comes to your mind? Tactical strategies, shooting, violence, racing. A lot of things will come to your mind when you're thinking about video games. A lot of games give you one approach: assault or stealth. There are no other ways to do things than assault or stealth. But The Last of Us is different. The Last of Us is a really old game, kinda. It has been around for a while. I play the remake version, the PS4 remake, of course. And there are many different fighting styles. Whether you want to be a gun blazing hero, a stealthy assassin, The Last of Us does not shy away from letting people do what they want to do. You can brutally murder people with your guns, or tear them apart with your own bare hands. There are many different weapons you can pick up throughout your time playing The Last of Us, such as assault rifles, axes, machetes, sticks, pipes, and you can even upgrade your weapons. This isn't like the Fortnite argumentation system. Instead, you have to pick up parts. Parts are a central part of The Last of Us because they let you do things you normally wouldn't be able to do with your gun. Upgrading your gun makes it more powerful, whether that's giving your sniper a scope, giving it body piercing, giving it more range, more power, whatever. You will almost always try to upgrade your shotgun or something else in your arsenal. The Last of Us lets you do this because it is a fighting game, kind of. And unlike a lot of other games where you get what you get and you don't throw a fit, you can customize your weapons based off whatever you have in your arsenal. If you want to make your machete last longer, you can upgrade it. You can give it a very interesting upgrade. All melee weapons can be upgraded to have a insta-kill attack. This insta-kill attack is particularly important because it lets you take down clickers in one hit, and all enemies will be taken down immediately by this one-hit attack. There is no way to counter this one-hit attack because, again, it is a one-hit attack. Sharp weapons such as machetes and axes already have this perk as soon as you pick them up. But if you want to add something like that to your pipe, you very much can. And this is great because instead of smashing a clicker's head in, you can simply just slice it. This is great because it means you can end confrontations quickly and you won't even have to worry about upgrading your weapon if you can't. In The Last of Us, there are many, many, many different enemies too. Survivors carry guns, infected vary. Everything has a purpose. But we're not here to talk about environmental storytelling. That's for another video. The Last of Us has a great combat system, despite being pretty wonky. You can't dodge, you can't really do any mix-up attacks, but with your guns, you can hide behind cover and shoot. You can, well, you get what I'm saying. You can basically do anything that you can do. If you're skilled enough to do it, you can do it. Blowing that guy's head off, you can do it. Slicing somebody's head off with a freaking machete, you can do it. And also, weapons break in this game. Everything feels like a real battle. You aren't fighting because you're just fighting bad enemy force. You're fighting against a lot of evil people. However, you can sometimes see that they're not evil. Survivors, usually hunters, will attempt to kill you. but not out of sadism. Hunters usually only attack you as a form of self-preservation. They are willing to kill women and children, and while I'm not justifying their actions, I'm explaining them. The Last of Us is a really desperate world, where anything can happen. Infected can rip you apart at any time of the night if you're not careful, and you have to realize that. The only reason we think Joel is a good guy is because we're playing as him. There are many, many, many sides of the story. For example, you see the enemies as really evil guys who just hate Joel because they're evil. However, the evil people in The Last of Us aren't even evil at all most of the time, except for David, the pedophile. Is he a pedophile or is he just uh, a cannibal? Either way, the enemies in The Last of Us have many different sides. Here's another important part of The Last of Us. Unlike many other games, your fighting styles feel different. And I am going to explain each and every one of them. The guns blazing player does not care about being seen. They will run in and shoot anybody that dares come closer than, 50 yards. There is no way to stop a guns blazing player, as, well, they're guns blazing. This is particularly annoying to enemies because, well, it is very scary to see a guns blazing player if you were to be an NPC, mostly because guns blazing players do not fear death. They run into every battle like they're charging a battlefield. They don't look back, they don't really hide. They only hide behind cover if necessary to heal or maybe shoot. These players are really just the reckless ones. They do not care if you shoot at them, they will shoot you back. And they are particularly scary if they have an assault rifle. These players usually rush in, hence their name, Guns Blazing. This is the second style. This is a particularly great style because it works on most, if not all, enemies. I say most because there are certain parts of the game where enemies know where you are, and thus you cannot use stealth. The best part about being a stealthy killer slash assassin player is that you almost never have to face your enemies head on. This makes it great for players who just want to get it over with or are patient enough. This style allows you to use takedowns. When you use a takedown, usually you will not be spotted by other enemies. This makes it particularly great because you do not have to deal with your enemies finding you after you've already killed everyone. This is good because not being hunted down by enemies is obviously better than being hunted down by enemies.